Hello again. Welcome to tutorial number 4. This one is, yesterday we obviously did the face and we did a little body adjustments, and today we're going to try kind of finishing up with the body and the face so we can start moving on to the clothes, and then after that blocking out some accessories, maybe a weapon. Then we need to go back to the hair, double check the face, and then yeah, that's pretty much the steps. What I did yesterday too, kind of in my free time, duplicated the head again, because obviously we changed the head a little bit now, so the head is different. So I duplicated the head 8 times again, kind of see the proportions, and I think they're matching kind of nicely. She might be a little bit too long, but it's also depending on the perspective too, right? Like this one kind of may be a little bit different. So if it feels bad, maybe when we add the shoes, we're going to see a little bit better if they kind of snap nicely. But for now, I think it doesn't look too bad. I think it looks pretty decent. Also, another thing I did yesterday. Oh, if my PureF starts working. Hello, there you go. Yeah, I kind of went and double checked the face, what was wrong with it, and I did some adjustments, and then just for myself to kind of see, to not waste our time and just sit here and do those. So yeah, let's kind of make those adjustments. So first of all, I realized that her hair, if you see on the concept, it kind of ends where her chin is, maybe a little bit above her chin, and our one goes a little bit too much down. So what we want to do is kind of grab the hair a little bit with the move brush, give a little bit more of this spiky kind of side view, and same on this side too, this kind of thing, a little bit more spiky, right? Nice. And then kind of lift this area too, because it's nice to have different values. So you kind of have this bump over here and it goes down. It just kind of reads a little bit nicer from the distance, right? So this kind of thing over here. Amazing. And then a little bit more in here. Oh, let me quickly get rid of the heads. That might be a little bit annoying for us. There you go. Lovely. So yeah, also with the F, right, like you know how to snap, but if you click again, you kind of snap to the whole like it snaps to the whole mesh. So if you click on an object and you press F, it's going to zoom into the object. So now if I rotate, I'll rotate on this axis, but if I press F again, we're going to rotate around the whole mesh. Sometimes it's helpful, but to just quickly jump back and forth, between close-ups and kind of zoom out a little bit here. Okay, cool. So this is it, and again, we just need to grab the hair by using this little magic trick over here, and kind of shrink them down so they're a little bit more closer to her chin. There you go, something like this. Now we just obviously need to make some corrections so it flows a little bit nicer. There you go. I think that's way better. It's just this weird bump over here, which I don't like. Something more like this. There we go. Cool. Another thing is there's this amazing concept that also is done on Enhance, and it's this one over here. This lady, I had it before, and I like how they did the eyelashes. Like my eyelashes are really thin, but they did like this kind of Overwatchy thick eyelashes, right? So that's what I also changed to, just to double check if it looks nicer, and then that's what we're gonna do here too. So let's quickly go on that. So what we're gonna do is gonna go on inflate brush. Let's inflate this. There you go, something like that. We can now H polish it a little bit. Also increase the dynamic resolution again. Amazing. So we can kind of H polish it from this side to get this nice little sharp edge. Then we also, it's a little bit too thick now, so we want to move brush, pull it up, and pull this down. Amazing. And then push this up a little bit. We can even grab the eye over here, because I think again it's a little bit too, yeah, this should be a little bit higher, and then this should be a little bit higher. Yeah, so just some tiny adjustments. As you can see, like it's not much difference what we have, but it just makes it look a little bit more cute. Right, so this kind of thing over here. There you go, lovely. That's way better. Yeah, also the chin, like I want it a little bit too rounded. Like it kind of goes a little bit too much round, which, you know, is cool, but not for our character. So we can, what we can do here is we can go with H polish. We can separate it, and we can kind of go underneath here and kind of chisel the transition over here a little bit. Let's tone this down. There we go. Something more like this. Nice. Also, she's got a really tiny face, so we can even make a little adjustment and kind of do this thing. Let's have a look at the concept. Yeah, you can see like the face is a little bit more like compact. I want us a little bit too separated. Also, another thing we can do on the face, let's increase the resolution over here. Lovely. Should be a little bit better now. Oh, oops. Yeah, a little bit better resolution here. And then smooth out this transition over here because it's a little bit too sharp. Damn standard. Again, it's too drastic. Something like this. Lovely. Also over here. Try to go kind of slow for you guys so you can see what I'm doing, alright? But you know, we just have to exaggerate the areas over here and kind of show where the nostrils are, because it's a little bit lost in our character. Boom, cool. And also, let's go back to my face over here, because I did it kind of nicer. Let's see if we can even make it better. So let's do this. Raise it up a little bit. And again, my trick is I mask it, reverse the mask, I go on clay polish, and we can clay polish it. And then we get nice little cool, cute nose. So from a distance, it looks a little bit, you know, it looks kind of Overwatchy in a way. Yeah, I think that's alright. Cool. And then the lips, we need to obviously get the lips a little bit more clean. Let's even bump up the resolution to like 620. Right now, mesh is really small, right? That's what we need to kind of bump up the resolution here and there. But in general, at some point, we're gonna have to scale the mesh a little bit, so we can have we can start adding more details in areas. Because if all the proportions are good, then you know we should be okay. So again, add a little bit more volume on the lips over here. Down standard, push it in, exaggerate the lips. Remember, the lips can't be too sharp, because otherwise it's not gonna look good. Like right now, it's too sharp, so we kind of need to have this thing going on over here, and then it doesn't end on the way, right? It should go a little bit more closer to this. Then we can have a little bit more on the chin here. And again, my good old trick. Let's see if it works, if it's gonna look nice. Let's mask out the mouth, clay polish. There you go. So you can see it's nicer than it was before. Let's see how it's looking now. Yeah, she's looking more cute, which is nice. Also with the eyes, right? Let's make the eyes itself a little bit darker, because we should go white eyes. She just looks a little bit creepy. But if we make this black, oh, now this is everything is black. I think my sensitivity on my mouse is a little bit crazy. But yeah, see, it looks a little bit like, I think it looks even nicer than here. It's a little bit more cute and rounded, which I like. I think we made it even better, which is good. Because otherwise you gotta be like, oh, you made it look good before. How did you do it? What are the tricks? But if we made it even better, that's nice. Let's make those ears a little bit smaller. Let's check from different angles. I think this angle, yeah, we can see we can kind of pop the cheeks a little bit more. Because I want to go, oh, sometimes it happens if you have pure yeah, but sometimes, see, the cheeks are a little bit more flat and here's a little bit more rounded, so we can kind of just get some angles and just bump them just a little bit more, guys, tiny bit, right? If you overdo it, then there's going to be problems, right? So let's just keep it a tiny bit. Also the jaw. Nice, we can kind of push it even more. Also today we're gonna kind of give her a color, like we're gonna color her a little bit so we can see how it looks. Oh, and her eyebrows, right? I realized too, like her eyebrows yesterday, we made them so thick, which is in some cases is amazing, right? But just for our character, like again, let me go back to this amazing concept. Someone did it in 3D. Where is it? This one over here. Just got really nice clean eyebrows. See, like it kind of cuts over here. Then it does this thing. And then over here, I think our one goes way too wide too. It should be more like this, right? Nice. And it kind of should be a little bit more. Oh, that's bad. There you go. Like a nice little smooth transition. And then obviously we need to paint it because right now you can see there's white happening. So we mask this and we paint it out. We can even give it one subdivision level to just make it a little bit more smooth. And I think, see if we can mirror with this side. Yes, we can. This is good. This is good. Let's see. I see something wrong with the eyes a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Our eyes kind of over here because we raised the eyelashes, right? Like we need to make this nice transition over here so it's not too big. Right here, there you go. That's awesome. Raise this up a little bit more. Maybe even push the corners a little bit more here. Clay build up. Push it more to have this nice transition. So yeah, now she's looking cute. A little bit Fortnite vibe from this side. I think that's okay. But yeah, a little bit more sharper on here. Because remember, it's about having those nice sharp angles, and also, you know, you can even see like the other character that's been done from Enhance that I've been analyzing a little bit. Like you can see how kind of sharp she is, right? I don't want to go for this much sharpness because this looks a little bit more World of Warcraft vibe. I want to go for this kind of where is it? Like this Fortnite vibe when it's kind of more smooth. Because I think she's more of a cute character and it will fit her instead of this. She's a little bit more of an evil girl. So if you have those nice sharp like angles over here, I think that helps the character, right? Like to kind of sell it as a villain. That one is a little bit more cute. She looks like a mage, but that's not good. She's a wizard. Hopefully a friendly one. So that's good. Okay, cool. Fix the neck. Okay, so the head I think is good for now. Let me double check the hair. Let's see the hair. That's okay. I feel like this one over here, it goes in and it goes out, right? And we have the opposite, so it should go in and then it should go out of the bottom. Again, I see like, you know, there's so many brushes on ZBrush, but we only use a few. You don't need many brushes to make your characters look amazing, you know. Cool, something like this, and from here, I think from the back. We need to have a little bit more of like this kind of thing, which you can see is supposed to go like from this angle, it goes in and then it goes out a little bit more. So even more like this. Cool. Some of the stuff you see on the concept, obviously we can, you know, copy it one to one, or at least we try to, right? Because I think the best results is when it looks kind of like the concept, you know, like the 2D character. That's what my favorite thing is about making stylized characters. Is when people see your work, they're like, "What is this concept or is this 3D?" I think that's the most rewarding thing because you kind of like, did I nailed it? Like they can't even tell the difference, you know. So I think this is a nice thing about. Okay, so I don't want to overdo this face. So I like it so far. I think it looks decent. Maybe still the jaw. See, it's kind of like wibbly wobbly over here. We don't want it wobbly. We want it nice and sharp. So again, dump standard. Hold Alt. Alt is to reverse the option, and then if you press it, it goes in, right? So Alt to take it out. When it's without Alt, it goes in, and then we can hold Shift to do this nice little hard edge. So this is a little bit, and then same thing here on the bottom, and we can even mask it if we want to be really cheeky about it, and then go for clay polish. And now it's going to be ultra clean. Cool. So another thing we need to do Hip proportions, I think they're okay. I mean, the only problem is, I think I double checked before too, is the hip transition over here. I think it should be smoother, like the transition. That one is a little bit too drastic. We need to smooth it out a little bit. So something like this. Something like that. So it kind of wraps around the bum, and then we got this nice little smooth transition. We can even dynamesh. It's not even dynamesh. Okay, we can dynamesh it. Smooth out a little bit. There you go. That's epic. Wonderful. Also, her chest is kind of too wide too, I think. But first, let's add a collarbone, because I think the collarbone is going to help us to kind of see if it's all nicely collected. My English today is wonderful. Connected. So we can grab this, scale it down. And the collarbone, it doesn't go straight, it kind of goes on like a little bit of a U kind of shape. Like you can see, it kind of goes in a little bit. Mine is a little bit too straight here too, because I did it really fast, just to see. But again, we can just grab it, clay buildup, dynamesh, boom, stretch it out from the shoulders. Oh, you can see like the shoulders are a little bit too thin. Need to make them a little bit wider, and also bring this bad boy in. The arms. The bicep should be a little bit smaller. The bicep should be a little bit bigger. There's a little bit too much here. Cool. Nice, we can even go like this. Kind of because on the concept she's got this little bump over here, right? So let's increase the resolution for this one. Nice. Bring it down a little bit so it's more of a U shape. And it kind of connects on the top of the shoulder, so something more like this. And also because of that, let's look at some references. You can see the collarbone, right? It kind of makes this area of the chest, it goes a little bit more in because of the collarbone, right? It's got to have space to live. So we can give a little bit more space. You can see another example over here, right? Like you can see it goes to the top of the shoulder, even wraps out a little bit more on the back, more like this. Let's pull out over here, something like that. Let's mirror across. Cool. Can raise it up, and now we can see this little connection over here. Like I think the shoulders, this muscle over here should go a little bit more like this. See, it kind of all goes together. Like remember, guys, the base, in my opinion, is the most important thing, because if you mess up the base, when you start putting stuff on top of your character, it's gonna look horrible. Because the problem is just like it doesn't have the foundations to look good. So we need to kind of make it, you know, we need to make it work from the beginning. Also, this little shape on the neck, right? That she's got this little, it goes in, and then it's got this V shape on the neck. Also, I think her neck is just literally like a stump. So let's give it some volume. Cool, and then we can clay build up, really small resolution. Obviously on your Wacom tablets, if you're using them, it's gonna be a little bit more, you're gonna have more control. And my sensitivity on my mouse today is insane. It's zooming like crazy. Well, okay, let's do something like this. And usually this muscle kind of collects with the collarbone over here. Something like this. Cool. That looks more natural. You can see she looks way better than she did before. We can have an even check before. But then also, if you look from the side, what happened to the legs, guys? Like sometimes, you know what I mean? I do this, and then I realize this, like, what is happening? How did I miss this? You know? So, so don't worry about it. So again, we have to make some adjustments, because otherwise, you know what I mean? Like the thighs, they go out over here. Oh, sorry. They go out over here, right? Because you have the muscle, and it goes to the calf, and remember, it's all about the curves. So the calf goes out, and then it goes a little bit over here too, in. And here it should be fairly straight, but again, it's a muscle. And then the muscle on the back, it goes like this. So it's gonna stick out a little bit, right? It's a stylized work, so it's not gonna look, you know, we can't exaggerate all the muscles, because otherwise it's gonna look too realistic and weird. So we need to kind of simplify it. And then this, we have to make it bigger, right? So then obviously it looks a little bit more interesting. And then the front of the bottom part of your leg should be flat. This is where the bone is, which is, what's the bone called? This is a good question. Like you got the calves. It's the bone. There's a bone that goes over here. It's a straight bone right here. It goes like this. So we have to make it nice and simple. We can even clay polish it to make it nice and smooth. There you go. Nice. The breast means to obviously later when we're gonna tomorrow when we're gonna start kind of merging and everything and blocking the clothes. What we're gonna do is we're gonna combine this area with the chest, and then we're gonna combine the legs together, and then we're gonna combine the arms together, so that we have just few pieces, so we can kind of block out the clothes better, right? Because if you have this, it's obviously hard to create this shape over here. So we're gonna try merging this together, this together, and this together. So we still have separation because I like having separate pieces. Because at the end of the day, a character is not going to be like undressable or whatever. It needs to be something like Riot Games, right? And Riot Games, what they do is they combine. So for example, if we have clothes over here, which obviously we're going to go in details a little bit more later, right? But like this piece where the breast is going to be combined with the breast. So the topology is going to be combined with this piece of clothing over here, not the metal pieces because they stick out and we can't have them, but the cloth. Same with this over here. This little thing over here is going to be connected to the chest, right? Because we need to have it to save polygons, and also we're going to have only one UV sheet, so we can't have too many pieces of the body. Because if you have too many pieces, and then we make a UV sheet, we're going to have multiple, and we need to only work with one. So the least body parts there is, then the better for the UV sheet, because we can add more stuff to it. But I'm not gonna drive you crazy right now with this, because it goes a little bit deeper. But when we start working on it, I'll kind of explain it so you understand what's happening. Okay, so we got this. Okay, another thing we can do right now, which is I think is gonna help us a little bit and is gonna make our character pop a little bit better, is we're gonna add the color. So for me, the best way to do it, and so is the most accurate as the concept is, let's bring the lady in. Boom, we have the lady over here. Amazing. And then let's, the opacity is on 4 already. And now it's on 4, okay. And now we can just color pick. So I can grab the face, and then we have a color picking. Oh, yeah. There you go. So it should be over here. Cool. Right now we have this material, which is not going to look the nicest, but I'll show you in a second. If we change to other materials, it's going to look way better. So obviously everything over here is going to be this color, so we can kind of paint it on. There is two. Oh, I click on this. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So paint everything nicely. But you just click on the area, and then by using the RGB on your standard brush and clicking the Z, we can paint. There's another painting brush on here too, but I like using this one because I don't know, it just feels a little bit more, it just feels better. I haven't used this one because it's like a new thing to add to ZBrush, and I've been using ZBrush since university, so I'm kind of used to it. Just use it this way, before we didn't have it, but they added it recently. So yeah, also the hands right now, they're obviously really blocky. But the hands, we're going to have another spin on them when we're going to start merging everything together and creating clothes. Because the hands are gloves, so we don't have to worry about doing like fingernails and stuff like that. It's just going to be one big piece. But this is, hands are really important too. And then we have this huge piece going over the hand, which is going to help us because we can have the hand separately, right? And then this little piece is going to be separate anyway, so it's going to be really cool to see. I'll show you later how this looks. Okay, and then the hair color, let's grab that. Cool, this is the hair color. And we can, oh, why is it not painting? There you go. I hate eyebrows, the same color, yes they are. Let's do that then. And then let's make her eyelashes a little bit darker. Not this dark, a little bit darker. And I just realized her eye both. There you go. So something more like this, and then the iris, I mean this area should be pure white. So there we go. Oh, we also didn't paint the back. So let's do that. There you go. Don't forget about the back area, guys. With 3D artists, so we need to tackle every single angle, you know. Nice, and then same with the hair. Nice, cool. So we have hair right now. She's got a little bit of a color. If we start changing the materials, right, for example, the skin one, you can see that the color is way closer to how it should be. But then this material is really hard to sculpt with because it just gives you a little bit like, it's really shiny. I don't know if you got the same feeling, but for me, it's just a little bit too shiny, and you know, it just makes it harder to sculpt. Like this one is just all toned down, so it's easy to sculpt. We also got something called fast shade, I think it's called. Let me double check. Fast shade, there you go. Just again, it's nice. It kind of brings the color a little bit nicer. But then this one I think is the best. And then another trick you can do on here is you can go on Lightbox. But this is just for like showing purposes. I wouldn't recommend to do it all the time. But if you go to render sets over here, you can click on the AO one, preview AO, and it gives you character shadows. So your character is going to have a little bit more shadows. That makes it a little bit more, you know, you can see the depth of it. I can show you another go. Again, this is without it. This is with it. Makes it a little bit more realistic. I think our one character is so stylized that we don't need that, so we can keep her like this for now. And yeah, again, I think that was pretty fast one. Again, it's just bringing everything together, kind of checking the sizes, guys. You know, seeing if everything works, all the different problems we have. And I think a character, it looks like it is good to go to start working on the blockout for the clothes, right? Which is something we're gonna do on the another tutorial. Because right now it was just kind of cleaning up, finish up the body, the proportions. Let me get rid of those heads because they are kind of creepy when they're just under. Yeah, so it's just kind of, you know. Again, if you add clothes, I think it's gonna help us to see a little bit better because she might be a little bit too wide, because she kind of feels like she's really thin and it goes up, but also can't make it too thin because then she's just gonna look like an alien. Again, we can kind of go clay polish on this one too. There you go. I think that's better because remember, clay polish just tries to unify the thing to make it look nice and sharp, right? So I think that's good. I think that's good enough for today. Let's double check with the legs. Again, they feel a little bit too flat on the back. I'm gonna make them a little bit more like this. Push the cuffs in. Maybe do something like this with that. Also, the transition over here, I don't think it's that. It's kind of more drastic than my one. So it kind of goes in a little bit more here. Nice, and also our calves are too crazy wide. We can tone them down a little bit. Push them here. Bring them up a little bit. Bring this up. Yeah, I think that looks good enough. I hope you like it, guys. It's just kind of it when it comes to the body. We can even paint the lips a little bit and all that stuff, but you know, at the end of the day, we're gonna be wasting time, and we don't want to be wasting time. So for now, let's just keep it like this. This is the blockout of the body. I think it looks good from every angle. You can also do like some sort of snapshots, right? Let's use the fast shade for now, but we can do snapshots. So if we hold your character like this and you hold Shift and press S, you keep in the viewport, and then you can drag another one, so we can kind of see all the different sides of your character, right? So we can do this, and we can kind of see if it reads well from every angle. It's good if you want to take like a screenshot or something and then put it on, you know, on Photoshop or whatever software you're using. There you go. I think it looks good enough. I think, yeah, it kind of reminds me of the character, at least for now. There's obviously a lot of work we need to do with the hair, but I think the hair we're gonna do probably after we block out all the clothes. Yeah, we block out all the clothes, then we do the hair, and maybe the metal attachment. We'll see how much time it's going to take us on the hair, and then we're going to block out the weapon. The weapon is really simple. The weapon is something that we're going to be using probably Maya to do, or we can even do ZBrush. But I think ZBrush is going to be better because it's for everyone. So yeah, maybe we're just going to try with ZBrush. But creating those kind of shapes, again, we're going to see. We're going to see how this goes. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed it. Hope your character is looking close enough. If not, remember, don't be scared to rewatch the videos. I do that all the time. So yeah, guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.